Hello. This is Sean Johnson Andrews. I'm the instructor with Interdigital Humanities, and I'm here just to check in. I wanted to kind of touch base on some of the things to look out for in the coming weeks. And one of the first things I wanted to note is we're looking at big data. We're looking at data analytics. And one of the first things I want to kind of mention is the importance of participation in this class. And I'm already enjoying reading through the forums, both the initial posts that you're putting in and the responses. A lot of great criticisms of the readings that we're doing, as well as kind of just general dialogue with one another. And I'm glad to hear that some of you are noticing the contrast between the positions that we're looking at so far, and hopefully that will just continue over the next few days and weeks. But since we're using Canvas, I wanted to just point out that I also get to kind of look at all of the data about when people are on the site, when people are looking, when they're actually participating. And there's definitely trends, certainly in the middle of the week. That's when things kind of pick up quite a bit. So if you have any questions about Canvas, let me know about using it. I know there are quite a few of you who are still kind of not quite involved in the forums. So if you're having trouble kind of getting your head around it, then a couple of things you could do would be to look at the calendar. Here, I'll look at the calendar page. So I guess one of the things that I was just talking with Maxim, who's one of the students in the class, and he was kind of asking me about what the rhythm of the forums should be. And if you go to this announcements, you can kind of see this first post here that kind of talks about what I'm hoping to happen. And one of the things that I want to kind of look at or kind of point out is that in that first my ideal here, the ideal would be that everyone would put in their first post, either, depending on whether it's the first forum of the week or the second, put it in on Monday or Wednesday here for the forum 2. So put in your post, and then you have Tuesday and the rest of Wednesday to read other initial posts in the forums and put in your 3 responses. So that should also create a more organic process of you read, you comment, and then you're able to kind of go in and look at what everyone else is saying and then comment on the conversation that's going on. So the rhythm would be that you go in on Monday, you've read some of the readings, you have some thoughts, you put in your initial post here, and then you give it a couple of days to look over what everyone else is saying. So that is the way that rhythm should work, and you can kind of also see that laid out here in the calendar view. If you go to the calendar view, you can see that I kind of tell you, put in your first post before midnight. It would have been last night or next Monday, and then your second post would be due the week after that, or the 2 days after that. And I am moving this post. I had it due today. Your response posts for this week. I was trying to make up for the fact that we're not going to have class tomorrow. We don't have a class on the 4th of July. But check out. There's a few things to check out that you could check out, but you won't need to do your response posts until Thursday this week. But every other week it would be Wednesday and then Friday. So let me know if you have questions about that rhythm. Second, I want to talk about the SMAP project, or the next thing I want to talk about is the social media analytics project, and that. I had another, again, in my conversation with Max, he kind of asked what we should look at for this, what kind of posts, what kind of hashtags you might want to check out. The first thing I'll kind of point you to is the actual module here in the in the class page that has a lot of the information that you'll need. If you go here to the social media analytics workbook, you can see some of the software that you'll need to use, and it also walks you through the entire process. I have a post on this in the module, but just to kind of answer a more general question, there's a lot of tools online you can use to find what hashtags are trending. This one is called Tweeplers. A lot of these are just kind of off the shelf. Most of them are trying to generate ads as well, but it at least gives you a sense of what's going on. And right at this moment, elsewhere in the world are the last 20 minutes or so of the Colombia England World Cup match, I believe. And so a lot of these tweets from around the world are focused on that England-Colombia event. So there might be some hashtags in there you'd want to check out. This is just in the United States, where there are mostly people talking about the World Cup and Colombia and England, but then there's also tweets about what's called the Second Civil War letters. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but there's quite a few posts about this. I think this is one of these sort of a form of digital storytelling, you might say, but basically people doing satirical posts using, I guess, as pretending to write a war letter for what is seen as the Second Civil War, which basically people are saying right now the United States is so divided that we're due for a second Civil War. We'll see about that. Another place to look for longer term trends. So this page is mostly just what is trending right now in this very instant. You could look for a slightly longer term trend. And again, the Second Civil War letters. This is a trend that's happened for several hours, right? So you can kind of see that at least for the last 10 hours, that's been one of the top 10 trending hashtags in the US. So that might be a good one to kind of capture and put in your tags data sheet. One of the other ones that another way that you can check is to just go right into this page and the hashtag not all men, I think, was one that that someone was interested in looking at. So a good way to kind of see if this is a hashtag that would be you'd be interested in looking at, is to look at the latest tweets and see basically how many there appear to be over the course of a few hours. And it should be hours if you're going to collect any data. So you can see that just over the last 13, 14 hours, there's been quite a few here. So this is one of the ways you want to look for a hashtag that's trending right at this moment, because what we're going to be doing is to use this tags data sheet. And the tags data sheet is a great tool, but it only goes back in time for 8 days. So you want to find something that's trending right now. So we could go to this Second Civil War letters, right? We're going to find this as a hashtag, Second Civil War letters. I'm going to just copy that there, and I'm going to put it in this tags data sheet. I'm going to put it right up here. Well, I guess all right. So that's Second Civil War letters. I want to change my follower count to just one here, because I don't want it to be a spam account, but I want to get everyone who has at least a follower or two. And then let's make sure we've wiped that sheet. Okay. And then we want to run now and see what happens. Okay, so as we run this script, it may ask you to verify some things. It may ask you to verify that you have access to your to that Twitter account that you're using. You may have to give permission to this. one of the things that's happened a few times is if you sign into Google with your Columbia Loop Google email, it may not work as advertised. I'm gonna just reload this and see what happens. All right, so it looks like there isn't anything happening yet. I might wipe this archive sheet and make sure that we have a good. All right. Let me try again. So eventually what this should do is give you a collection of data. We'll come back and check on this in one moment. But one of the things that I wanted to just point to also, upcoming, and I have this in the comments of the video here, is that next week I'll be doing a hangout that you can join me with this speaker. This is Austin Myers, he's kind of artist and coder and designer and kind of just all-purpose digital guru. He also does data analytics. This is his website and some of the information about some of his most recent projects. He's going to join us for an hour or so to talk about some of the tools he's developed for data analytics, both for businesses, but also for academic research in relation to the humanities. So he's going to be here to kind of chat with us for an hour or so. I'll record that interview so you'll have it to access later, but it'd be great if some of you joined us live. Let's see if this sheet has done anything yet. It has not. So we will have to, I'll have to come back to this. This is an old version of this sheet anyway. Okay, so this is saying I need to set up Twitter access. Let's make sure we do that. Sometimes that is a problem. Okay, let's make sure that this works. Easy setup. This is going to go in. Sign in with Twitter. We're going to authorize this app, right? And then we're going to close that window. We're going to close that window. And let's try this again. There we go. Okay. So this has collected 12,000 tweets for the Second Civil War. And you can see on back here, you can see this is where all the data is being collected. The instructions will tell you how to download this as an Excel spreadsheet that you can then import into Tableau. But the important thing here is to then say update archive every hour. This will start your collection both 7 days in the past and really going forward infinitely. You can go forward for until this sheet fills up. But I'd advise you to start collecting data now. This project is due July 15th. So if you start collecting data now, you'll actually have 2 weeks of data that you could work with if you started putting the project together over the weekend, the July 13th and 14th. Then you could do the data analytics using the software, using your spreadsheet, and more than likely if you took a hashtag like this one, you'd end up with a good number of tweets. I do think something like the Second Civil War letters, which touches on kind of recent controversy or political or cultural events, those are the kinds of hashtags that yield the most interesting results. But I would, it's worth experimenting with a few of them. So after you've set up one like this, I would advise you to then kind of make a copy of that, and then you can set up another data sheet on another hashtag that might be trending, right? So Women Might Save America Yet is another one that's on this top 10. You could look for that. Or you can just look at what's going on on your social media feed to see if there's something that would be useful to have or to check on using this analytics. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to chat with you, have some sort of conference with you if it would be helpful. But either way, I'm looking forward to our conversations in the future, and please let me know if you have any questions. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the forums. Take care. Bye.